Hey, Tuesday night, Total Schmidt Show. Let's do this. Total Schmidt Show Season 3 is upon us. Tune in every week. I talk to entertainers from all over the world. Singers, dancers, comics, musicians, drummers, blah, blah, blah. All kinds. Techs, even some cruise directors. Most of the entertainers I talk to work on cruise ships. If you ever wanted to know what entertainers do, how they get through their day, any of the behind-the-scenes stuff about entertaining, we'll talk about that stuff here, as well as we'll delve into some of the entertainers and some of their works, some of their albums coming up, some of the things they've done in the past, things you can look forward to in the future. All that stuff you can catch here on Total Schmidt Show. But either way, get yourself a pizza, a beer, some bourbon, light up a cigar, or some sort of joint, or whatever type of crutch or vice you need to get through the evening, and sit back and enjoy whatever it is I put together this week on You're welcome. Hey, it's Tuesday. Welcome to Total Schmidt Show. How are you doing? If you're watching on YouTube, first of all, our guest is Jason Stuart. He'll be here in a couple of seconds. If you're watching on YouTube, give it a thumbs up, please. Subscribe even to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's Mr. Lenny Schmidt everywhere on all social media platforms. If you're listening on a podcast platform, subscribe to the podcast. And if you want to make it all real easy, just go to lennyschmidt.com. Everything you need is right there. Subscribe to the page. There's free packages, there's paid packages, there's video content packages, all kinds of stuff. You can watch my content, enjoy it all for free, or you can pay for it if you think it's worth it. That's how I roll. So there you go. I got Jason Stuart on today. I was thrilled to get him and really happy. He's one of those guys I love to have on the show. If you watched the show or listened before, you know that I like to talk to entertainers that kind of paved their own way. There was a day when you started out and you hoped somebody would discover you, and nowadays you just have to discover or make your own career. Jason is easily one of those guys. He's a producer, exec producer, a writer, director, filmmaker, actor, stand-up comic. He had a award-winning web series called Smothered, 2 seasons that you can find. And also he has a short film that he's doing, putting together, budgeting for now, and started shooting already, Redlining, which the GoFundMe for that is going to be in the bio of the show here. So check it out. Check out Jason's stuff. He's got a huge library of work, a huge backlog. He's been around a long time. He's made himself a really respectable career and someone to look up to in this business. I think everyone should check out his stuff. And I got to talk with him for about an hour. Also, in the pod, you'll notice I was wearing a tank top for half of it. And I noticed it after I started recording. It's a long story, but he called me out on it. And he was correct. I felt like a slob, and I just feel like an idiot. Whatever. I was wearing a tank top for half of the show. So then I changed to put on a t-shirt. So that's how I upgraded, I guess. But sit back and enjoy my conversation right now with the one and only Jason Stuart. Right away. I checked out all your stuff and your website and stuff. Man, I love the fact you shot your own series. That is badass. That is really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
I've made a lot of my own things.
Yeah. No, I knew you had done some of your own stuff, but the fact you're working on, you've got a whole season of a series up on 4 different platforms. Yeah, 2 seasons. Oh, the second's out already? Because I was looking at it. I didn't know the second season was out.
21 and 23, I believe.
I was watching some of the clips. And dude, really great. Where you're perfect for the show because I love. Man, I just love there was a line you said in one of your promos that was. You will not wait for the permission to create. I love that line alone. Is really badass, and more people should follow that. You know what I mean? Because there was a day when we started out when you waited for a manager to sign you and people to give you deals and people to do stuff, and people that fight their way through and find the way to do their own stuff, I think make a difference and make the coolest stuff, and that's really impressive to have.
Well, thank you. The only idea I had about show business was two or three things. Marlo Thomas on That Girl, where she'd walk around with her picture and, at the beginning of the show, and she'd try to get a job as an actress. And then at the beginning of the show, somebody would go, I want that girl. And she'd go, and that would be it. And then they'd find her. And then the other thing was that old movie Imitation of Life, where Lana Turner would walk around and she couldn't leave her house because she had in case the phone, someone would call,
Oh
and
God, that's funny.
so she'd have the phone and she'd keep it wherever she went
Right.
on, on a long, long cord. So I used to think that was the way to do things.
Sure.
I used to go to the studios when I first started, and I'd go with my, uh, briefcase with pictures and resumes, and I'd go around or to all the offices, and I would drop off my pictures and try to be funny and cute. And I was funny and cute,
Yeah.
but I wasn't this guy that I am now. I didn't have this voice or this kind of self-esteem, and I didn't know who I was. And
Right.
I know they didn't want to hire me no matter what
Right. Right. Yeah, but yeah,
because I was gay,
yeah, right. Okay, right. Um uh but and you created yourself. I mean, totally you've created your own career. You know what I mean? That's which is completely which is impressive now. Which is badass. I've always known you as a funny stand-up, and just to go out there and make it happen for yourself, that's cool, man. I used to do that, walk around the studios and try to get attention and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to say as far as how badass that is to be.
I remember I went to a seminar once, and Barbara Miller, who was a big casting director at Lorimar, and I remember when I was a kid, and she was doing some sort of workshop or something where someone would interview her, and you'd ask questions and pay money that you didn't have. And she said, "Oh, no, no, nobody can get on the lot. Sometimes you have to just sort of, you know." Be very, very careful because there's the guard there. What I would do is I would just walk in, I'd have my briefcase, I'd wave at the guy, and then I'd go in. And this is before, they had security and got, all the things
Right. Yeah.
you do in the bar, in the old days. And I would just walk around. I'd have lunch at Universal with a friend, and we'd walk around and we'd act like we were in show business.
Yeah. Act like you belong there. If you walk
Yeah,
in, they won't
def-
stop you. Yeah. You just look like you belong.
definitely.
They won't even look twice. Now let me ask you. You just said a second ago you dropped off headshots and stuff at different studios and different casting directors. They wouldn't. Did you think they wouldn't hire you because you were gay, or they
No, I
wouldn't
didn't
hire
have
you?
to think it because they tell me.
Seriously, this is
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the. This has got to be. Well, this is at the beginning, right? So we're talking
In
late
the
'80s.
80s. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They would just look at me and they'd have their, code words, you're light in the loafers, you're too
Oh God. Right.
flamboyant, you'll
Yeah.
work later when you're older, you're like Paul Lynn or Charles Nelson Riley or Rip Taylor, which is like the death.
Right.
It's like a beautiful woman going to Lifetime. That's where movies, that's where it ends.
Right. Right. Right.
That's where there's no creativity. And I started as an actor wanting to be like the next Dustin Hoffman or Geraldine Page. And I mean, I went to class when I was 14 years old. I started studying and I wanted to be a serious actor and I wanted to do great work with great people. I remember going to see Jenna Rollins in A Woman Under the Influence, the Cassavetes film. And my acting class teacher said, if you don't go to see that, you can't come back to class.
Yeah.
And I saw this with Peter Falk from Columbo, and I knew him. I didn't know her at all. And I'd never heard of John Cassavetes. And I went in and I was just mesmerized by the depth and the creativity and the risk taking. I thought, is that real? Is that what real acting is? And that's where I started. And then I just worked my way down.
Worked your way down. Hey, that's the end of the free portion of Total Schmidt Show. You want to see the rest of the video? You want to see it all? Hit the link below. Join the website. $2 a month or $20 for the year. You'll get upwards of 40 episodes, 40 video episodes, full video episodes of Total Schmidt Show. Join the website, or you can listen for free. Link is below as well. However, I highly recommend you go the paid option because then I get your money.